All right, so the first of a few videos. Okay, so let's check this out.
Athenians, they would take them slave because they're different. They're the outgroup. They're the Athenians. They're inferior, right? So you can't stop that racism, but what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow certain. You have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say that I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective. Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump, and then we had 4 years of Joe Biden in chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign.
And this is the thing, right? This image, having a civil discussion, just having a dialogue, is the importance. It's this is a thing where it is the purpose of freedom of speech right here. Is so we can talk to each other. And so we don't. There's no one stopping you from saying whatever you want to say, but we can have a discussion, a peaceful, civil, respectful discussion between two people who have different ideologies. This is what we're missing. This is what Charlie Kirk was trying to promote. This is what I believe right now, with how so many people are so divisive, so many people are so divided. We are missing this. We need more of this, right? More of us just having a dialogue. Whether you agree or not, it don't matter. If you can't find common ground, you agree to disagree. You hear each other out. You don't agree with it, cool. You move on.
Yeah, come down here doing it. HBCU man.
Why is that out here?
That was America Great.
Hell no.
Well, something that all of us have benefited from are the 2017 Trump Jobs and Tax Act. Regardless of what your skin color is, regardless of your gender, this is one thing that focuses on your income. So regardless of race, any of those factors is just your income. Individuals that earn between $15,000 to $50,000 receive a tax break anywhere between 18 to 26%. If you earn between $50,000 and $100,000, which is the average American median income, you got a tax break between 15 to 17%. That means, let's say you make $100,000, you probably saw about a $15,000 tax rebate just because of what Trump passed. Now, let's look at median household income. It increased to the highest it's ever been, $5,000 higher than under Obama's administration, simply because Americans were able to put more money in their pockets. I think we can all agree here.
Jamie, what's up? What's up? Now, it's not like, you can like or dislike anyone you want. My thing is that we should at least be able to talk to each other. We should at least be able to talk to each other and not want to kill each other. Yo, Laughing Man, what's up, my brother?
Regardless of what our race is that when we have more money in our pockets, we like that. We can do more things with that. We can invest into things, right? We can enjoy more stuff like that. So I think that is a great example of how Trump's policies, a lot of people say Trump is racist. Well, hey, his policies are definitely not racist. So you can claim whatever you want to about him, but if he was a racist person, he would not allow policies to help everybody. He would probably make them where they would be solely exclusive for white people or something like that. Another great thing is all presidents do this, but, constantly I hear that President Trump is racist. Well, let's look at it.
Jamie, you know what? This is a thing where I respect your opinion. I will say this, okay? I look at it as, I think we wouldn't be better with better off without certain types of people, with certain groups of people. I think we're better off with certain types of ideologies, right? Ideologies that are hurting us, that is not what we need. We don't need the ideology that's hurting us. The ideology of victimhood, right? Victimhood. Ideology of lack of accountability, blaming everyone else but yourself. Shit like that. Always thinking that you're the victim. Always thinking that, you know what? It's the government. It's the white man. It's someone else that is holding you back, not yourself. I think those ideologies are harmful to people.
HBCUs. He funded them more than the previous president did. Now, Biden came in, he funded it even more than the previous president did with Trump. But again, we're comparing Trump to Obama, and Trump came in and, what is that, about how much more HBCU funding did Trump provide than Obama? It's hundreds of millions of dollars more. So this is a specific policy enacted by Trump's first administration that has overwhelmingly held for HBCUs.
I never remember you said that question. I never remember you saying that question. Whew, how long it took me? I don't know. It didn't took me that long, right? It didn't took me that long. Let's say, accumulating everything took me ages, right? Accumulating everything took me ages. It took me ages to do it. But I mean, building the bookcase, maybe a week, right? Let's say combined time schedule, a week. Setting things up, I would say about a week, right?
How would that make you?
See, this is the problem. They were having a respectful civil discourse, respectful civil conversation. And then why even do this? Why even go this? Like, they were talking to each other, learning from each other, seeing if you could find some common ground, or, you know what? Again, agree to disagree.
Yes.
You do know, like, they're like the most, like, employed in everybody. They make the good job you don't want to work?
There are plenty of Americans who graduate high school every year without a high school diploma. There are plenty of Americans who graduate without a high school diploma every year. Those people can be employed.
So we got a little work. And we're hearing stuff like this from the crowd.
We're just having conversations. The signs that we had. Okay, then if nobody wants to talk, they don't have to talk. We're not forcing anyone to talk. We were having a civil discussion with the person who was up here. We've been to lots of schools. We were at Clemson, we went to GSU.
Hello? Hey, what's up? We're at Nashville right now. We're kind of in a big crowd with cops. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah, like 1 second.
This is a thing where I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your religion, what your orientation is. Why can't we have a civil conversation? It shouldn't turn out to fighting. It shouldn't turn out to killing. It shouldn't turn out to beatings. We should be able to talk to each other, have civil discourse, right? We should be able to talk to each other. This shows you weakness right here. Evil Eddie, what's up, my brother? I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. Noodles, what's up, my brother? What's up, my brother? Glad you guys are here. Glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for being here.
Signs except for, oh, there's another one. There's another one being stolen right there. Yeah. So basically all of our signs have been stolen so far.
All your signs, how do you feel?
It's not very nice, you know?
You don't have anything else to say?
I mean, we were trying to
Why
talk.
don't you say all the things that were on your sign?
Well, we were trying to talk.
I don't think you're still
It's a state school. I funded the school with my taxes. With my taxes.
That's all you better not be black.
There goes our other signs. There goes our other signs. They've stolen everything from us. They've stolen everything. This is crazy.
Yeah, that helps the stereotype. Steal from people. That helps the stereotype. Let's steal from people. You know what? Where we can't talk to each other, right? We can't have a civil discourse, a debate of ideas. Let's steal. Let's steal from the white man. Because we can't debate the white man. We can't have a civil discourse with the white man. Let's steal from them. That's a great way to, disprove the stereotype. They're not good. Yeah, this is the thing. When you act like this, you are just a bad. This is why I've said this before. Why the black community does not care about their public image. They don't care about their public image. Right? You can't control your emotions. How about have respectful conversations with each other? You have a different view? Great. I have a different view. Let's debate. Let's have a civil discourse. Let's talk to each other like human beings. Let's respect each other like human beings. Let's have a conversation. Let's not go crazy like this. Let's not be emotional like this.
All your knowledge is cooking, bro. Y'all need us, bro. The Greeks made science, the Greeks made math. Y'all know who the true people is. Y'all know who takes the people from, bro.
No. Is it your satchel?
Like I said, the Jamaicans make no chicken, bro. The Italians make no fish, bro. Look how much air is done by the Dominicans, bro. The pork food. The pork food that chicken cooking, bro.
Well, we're watching the equipment right now, guys. All of our signs been stolen. They've been yelling at us, screaming at us. We got police and security around us, trying to figure out what the hell to do. This has been kind of crazy today, but yeah.
That's a screwdriver. We should start this.
Oh, somebody.
Hey, yo. Where's the ticket?
It's been crazy here. All we did was put up a few signs and then people went crazy. Absolutely crazy so far.
eat primitive. For what? We created on knowledge. We created on science. We created on math. Y'all need to do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your religion, to your faith, to your understanding about life. Until you guys didn't make all you politicians. You know they were God. You just lying to yourself with your spirit authority.
I've already talked to them. They're leaving. Okay. Then we'll talk. They're leaving now. All right. Wait. Back up so you can get a statement.
That is the thing, right? That's the problem. It's the herd mindset, herd mentality. Okay? Why can't, it's like, this is a problem. You have disagreements? Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation.
Wait. What are you doing?
Where we parked.
What is this? I'm gonna keep this out. Actually, no, it's okay.
Hey, Cap. You got an open space right here. Let's go this way.
That's the craziness. That's the craziness. But let's get some reactions from certain people, some other people. Let's get some reactions. Now let's get a reaction from Anton Daniels.
You will experience more hostility on a HBCU with an opposing view, or as a white person with an opposing view, than any space that you would go in that you would deem racist from white people all day long. I think that all that camera did and all that did, ironically enough, would showcase the level of racism and hatred that black people are imparting into their kids. These are fucking 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds that are evil and angry. These are fucking right out of high school evil people that have never experienced anything racist in their life. These little motherfuckers wasn't even born before 2000. Not one of these little niggas was born before 2000. And they evil as fuck. That's crazy. That shows you the level of programming in my mind, and from my perspective, that's really happening in our households, how feminine and angry the dog. I mean, I don't know how much more obvious it is that we are teaching hatred. We are teaching hatred. None of those people that was on that campus was born before 2000. Not one of them. And they were purely evil. They were purely evil at white people. That's
funded by the government, though.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, like, everybody teaches hatred.
They indoctrinating it. And my household is very anti-white. And if I didn't think for myself and get to know people for myself, I probably would have been just like that. As an adult, as a black woman, the 92%, honestly.
Well, I could tell you this. I experienced racism. I know it's real, and I know what it looks like.
Nobody's saying it.
No, well, you gotta hear me out. What I'm saying is, like, racism is taught, and it has not stopped being taught by white folks either. You know, so like we can't act like they don't teach racism because they are the ones who bred it. You know, honestly, black people,
Racism has been in existence way before this country ever started.
we're not talking, I'm talking about here in America. And the problem is, like I said, black people are the easiest people to program because we're disenfranchised here in this country. We don't know our roots. We don't know what the fuck is going on, so we can be programmed easily. Due to that, we're able to be triggered easily by so much shit. And the main thing they trigger us with is white supremacy, which doesn't exist. They use that shit. They use the same plays. They use the same playbooks. And unfortunately, we fall for it. Due to that, there will always be civil unrest when conservatives try to play their hand in a predominantly black environment. I just don't think they should be doing that. I don't think those situations turn out well. Just being honest.
I think it would. I'm sorry. I think it would look like if they had people like Anton or like black conservatives who they kind of relate to, I think they would have received it differently.
Nope.
You don't think so? Because they don't
No.
like to see white dudes.
You know who black people hate worse than white people that are conservative? Black people that are conservative. Black people hate black people that hate conservatives hate black conservatives more than they hate white conservatives.
Sure.
I blame security on campus. I blame the campus within themselves, because if you're going to call yourself security or police or whatever you call it, your job is to protect everyone, not just one-sided. What all they did was escort them off campus from a mad, emotionally eradicated crowd. Y'all should have been the president of the campus, anybody higher up should have made an announcement that they were coming. They should have set a strict zero tolerance rule. The minute anybody steps out of line, is immediately disciplined to the highest extent. And that would have stopped them right there, because one thing about it, parents don't play with their money, black, white, or indifferent. And then security should have been posted up way before they set up shop. It doesn't matter as long as it is not no Hitler rhetoric. They should be able to say their piece just like anybody else, no matter if it's a black campus or not. And I agree with Slimmy, but to a degree I don't, because at the same time, when is it going to be okay for people that are conservative to speak their voice when it's another president who's Democrat in office? No, that's not acceptable. Everyone should have their voice, as long as it doesn't harm anyone.
Do you think black people can go speak their voice in sundown towns? Let's just be honest.
Who going to sundown town? You know what? I think no, but not because of racism, because they're poor. They're poorer than black people. They're poorer than black people. We walk around in the ghetto. You have people walking around with Jordans and taking their $13,000, $15,000 tax money, and they're going out the country more than working class people. Yes, no, they can't speak, but not because of them being black, because of them being poor.
I will say this, Lenny. I just watched the video, and I can put it up for you. It's so funny that we're talking about this. I just watched the video, and I think it was because I was going through Charleston White little, you know what I'm saying, journey. And I watched the video, and it went viral. It's actually a pretty popular video that they said that they went to the most racist town in America. You seen Amiga? And they went to the most racist downtown in America.
Yep.
And Lex is right. They just poor.
Yep.
They poor as fuck. And ain't nothing happened to the black people. They bought a black person, an Asian person, all of these other type of people. And it wasn't shit popping. Matter of fact, it was black people that lived in the town literally right next to it. Literally right next to it.
Why did it get to be the most racist town if
they say that
it's named that?
But and it was actually some YouTubers that were over there that stayed there.
So it was named that. It's a YouTuber that goes through it.
I'll drop it in the group chat, but I'll send it to you.
Yep. And it's a YouTuber that he goes to all. So you know how people say, "Oh, this town is kind of like what you just said, a sundown town." Da da da. He goes to all of those towns, and I remember one of the towns that he went to. He actually was with an actual KKK member, right? For what the KKK is now, right? And so he was talking to him, and
it was Vader, Texas, I think.
Yeah, they had a great conversation.
I think it was Vader, Texas.
They didn't get chased out or anything.
They're just poor as fuck. The racist people that they met.
No,
because they're there with a camera.
Go look it up. You literally just go look on YouTube and pull it right up. I don't even.
I'll look it up. But I'm calling cap. They seen that camera, so they ain't gonna. They ain't gonna act a fool.
Yeah, but he by himself.
Let
so
me.
he
A
can
lot of the
easily just do
cameras,
it.
if I'm not
They
mistaken,
hidden.
I
Hidden
believe
cameras?
I think some of them was hidden. I'm not sure though. I don't know if they was hidden or not.
GR, what's up, my brother? I mean, that town has the highest volume per capita of mixed race violence in the country by like, okay.
But what,
And
what
who
I'm
is these? Listen, bro. Who are these mysterious KKK people that y'all keep seeing everywhere? Where the fuck are they? And what are they doing? Can somebody point me in the right direction? I ain't heard from them. I ain't seen them. What have they done lately? Honestly, who are these KKK people that y'all speak so heavily about that we should be worried about?
Jasmine Coffee.
White
Honestly,
liberals.
bro. They just keep pulling up this mythical shit. Y'all ain't seen a KKK person in your life.
Joe Biden.
I don't know who they talking about.
Hillary Clinton.
So I don't know, bro. I just think that
They went there with bad intentions. They went there wanting to get a reaction. All the nefarious things you could think about, right? It would have been nice to be able to see black young men and women be able to say, "Oh, well, you're here. You
know, this is what Noodle said, right? A lot of times we don't have the chance to just talk to each other. Just talk. Fine. You know what? Oh, I hate black people. I hate white people. Okay, sit down. Let's talk. Let's actually have a conversation. Let's have a respectful conversation. Let's have a respectful, civil conversation. You say you hate me. I say I hate you. Okay, fine. Let's talk. And then when you get down and we sit down and talk to people, just talk. Like respectfully talk. You actually kind of change your mind in the sense that doesn't mean that you maybe love the person or like the person, but you know what? You may not hate the person. You know, you will respect that we're just different. We are just different. That is the thing. And that is okay. We do not, and I support it, do not agree with anybody 100%. You don't need to love anybody. You don't need to like anybody. But hey, be respectful because we're all humans.
think we're this, that, and the third, and then articulate themselves and their points, right? And say, okay, yeah, you came here for this, but this is what you got, right? And so that would have also went viral because it would have showed a different side, and so you would have had a different point of view, and nobody could say certain things. Everybody that I saw even black people, and I'm talking about not people that are on the conservative side. I saw liberal blacks like, yeah, I would expect that. I would have expected it. So everybody expected you to act that way. Why? Because they feel like we know you're overly emotional. We know you triggered this and that and third. Why not show something different? And I think that's what the first young man was doing, even because he did not agree with anything they said.
all right.
So I caught a little bit of it. Now they saying Viter is trying to change their image. You know what I'm saying? They trying to change from being a sundown town. And he says that in the actual video. The dude, Kendrick Curry. So that's who I found.
But either you're a sundown town or you're not. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. So that they're trying to change the image. So of course they're not gonna do nothing crazy. Like, and it's a blatant cameraman with him. So
I think the campus enabled their behavior, and they shouldn't have, because they're going to carry that on with. They're the next generation. They're going to carry that on with them as young adults, and as they get older. It's enabling behavior.
Yeah, see, it's people messaging me about Fighter now, and they, Julius Jermaine, he said like he down there. He said you can't go there, and he basically saying like they only reason shit didn't happen is because those cameras was there.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I think if you
don't
try
understand, like they wasn't live streaming, it was recording. So if I kill you and I take your camera, what difference would it make?
They don't know where else.
And here's the stupidity of that. Okay, let's have a white person go into an all black neighborhood, right? Recording and talking to people. Let's see what happens. I've literally seen, okay, a UPS driver, a white UPS driver, go to a black neighborhood and get his car jacked, right? So you make it seem like, oh, these sundown towns. No, this is a thing where we have a problem where white people, black people, they hate each other. They hate each other. So it don't matter where you go. This is the stupidity. Oh, you think that that's something unique? No. You could do the same thing in an all black neighborhood, right? Compton? You think white people are going to Compton and asking people questions? No. It's kind of stupid.
How do cameras protect you until after I edit the footage and put it up?
No, but the thing is though, if you see one camera, you're not gonna think that's the only one.
There was only like 2 of them though.
I don't understand.
Which was crazy in itself. If this is supposed to be a sundown town, you know, it was like
Yeah,
the one
but
I
also-
saw. It was only like 2 people.
He also says at the beginning of the video they're trying to change their image. So I don't know.
Here's my thing. You're not going to ever get okay. Some people are just racist. It is what it is, right? Some people are just that. However, if it's not directly, meaning I'm talking about if they're not stopping you from having freedom of mobility, they're not stopping you from getting a house, they're not stopping you from doing this. You can sit in your house and stew all day about not liking people of color. Doesn't matter.
But the thing is though, let's just be honest about them dudes that went to that college campus. If they didn't have the propaganda with them, that it probably would have just been
with a hat.
Whatever the signs they had. Who know? We don't know what those signs said. You know,
Well,
what I'm saying?
you gotta have. But you gotta have.
Wait. Just let me finish. Mm-hmm. If they don't have any of that stuff, it could probably be a normal conversation, and nothing happens.
Okay, but if I'm going on campus, right, and I don't know, let's say I'm Planned Parenthood, right? If I'm trying to do something, I have to identify myself. So I get why they would have signs and say what they want to talk about. And like I said, I mean, I went to one of the most liberal schools, NYU. And when I tell you, liberals do it all the time. They do it all the time. They rage. They come up with all these protests. I mean, they barge in your classrooms. They say what they want to say, like all the time. They're invited, uninvited. I just woke up today and thought I was going to yell at everybody on campus. That's what they do. You know what everybody does? Okay, cool.
All right, let me read some of the super chats. We got to move on.
Can I add something real quick?
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Or am I too late? Am I too late?
No, you cool. I didn't know if you had seen the video.
I did.
Tardy.
Hey, everybody.
Habitual tardism.
So if you're truly attempting to engage in healthy dialogue with people who you can assume have a total either difference of opinion or they're just going to judge you based off of how you come, being white, wearing the MAGA hat, you know, whatever, then I think that you have to change your approach. Now, if you want to just prove a point, if you want to just show, you know, I really should be able to go here, I should be able to just talk and wear what I want to wear and everyone should behave even though you know they're not, then that's something different. But if you're trying to really have an effective exchange, and I think that unfortunately with HBCU in certain HBCUs especially, you're gonna have to be more strategic. So I don't even know who these guys, I don't know if they just came onto the campus, if they were invited. I don't know who was representing them. I don't know any of that, but it probably should have been a thing where they, you know, extended it. I'm sorry, they reached out to maybe an organization at the campus, and then they asked, could we put on an event in the auditorium, in the, you know, wherever, give people an opportunity to decide they want to come and handle it that way. That way, those who really want to engage, you have a better chance, let me say, of those who really want to engage, they'll come. And those who are about the nonsense probably won't even read a flyer anyway. So they probably won't even be around like that. But unfortunately, with us in that climate, you got to be strategic. I mean, even Hampton, if Howard came and just set up a booth to talk about how good Howard was, I mean, we wouldn't necessarily fight, but we're rivals. So even that will create some type of an energy. That's just what it is. We've already talked about how Black people, somebody could be fighting and you could just like, one person can fight and then everybody will go run to the fight. Like, I don't know what that is in us, but we run to drama. We run to trouble. I don't know why, but we have a tendency to do that. So the domino effect that we saw take place, I'm not surprised. And it sounds like everybody else wasn't surprised either. So if we know what to expect, then why go in like that?
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
Why hasn't that been addressed? Because just from your age group, right, to these children's age group, if everybody in the span of 30 to 40 years can expect it, why hasn't it changed?
I mean, many different
because
reasons.
now it sounds like now it goes from everybody else needs to change. Everybody else needs to learn how to, talk different ways. We spend all this time talking about how we should do pronouns, how we should do transgender people, gay people, this people, right? How everybody has to tiptoe and change and learn the times. Why is it that this group, this demographic doesn't have to change their stance, doesn't have to change their mindset.
Well, that's not
Meaning
that.
liberal. Go ahead. You said something.
Well, no, I'm not saying that people should have to change for them. I'm saying they should be clear of their intention. And I look at 18 and 19-year-olds, I look at college kids differently than I look at grown adult liberals who are 30, 40, 50. Like I'm separating that, because to your point, a lot of these kids, I'm gonna call them kids, they were raised by liberals. They were raised by people with this perspective. So to expect them to just change would be insane. So here we have an opportunity where they're separated from their parents. Now we have them in isolation. I have a decision to make. I can either go in here and say, this is how y'all should have been raised better. Y'all should know how to handle yourselves. Y'all should know how to handle me coming in here with this MAGA hat on and listening to what I got to say. But the reality is that's not it. That's not
right. But we expect,
I'm
saying is we expect everybody else to do it, because let's just say if it was split, I
don't expect, no, Mika, I don't expect. What I'm saying is if you are coming to my campus, why are you coming here? Are you coming here to help me? Or are you coming here to hurt me? If you're coming here to help me, then yeah, you probably should figure out the best way to get me that help.
Did you see the video of them conversing with the young man? It was only.
I heard you describe it. I didn't see that part.
It was, and I can send it to you if you don't have it. It was only when the black girls showed up.
I got you. I believe it.
Right.
I totally believe it.
And so, what you just said, they were doing. And the young man didn't agree with nothing the white boys were saying, but he articulated himself.
I got you on that, Mika.
It was quiet until they showed up.
Yeah, but and again, this is why I'm saying it goes back to intention, because some people might be like, I don't want to have to change up my MO to talk to these kids. So I would then say, then don't come. I would say you're better off just not going to that campus than to come to the campus the way you want to come, expecting them to receive you differently, unfortunately.
But they did. That's what I'm saying.
No, I like I said, I think that it was clear that type of a setting in this type of a climate is not going to be effective. Whether we like it or not, it's just not. So again, you have a choice. Are you trying to be effective or not? If you're not, don't even bother coming here, because it's not going to work like that.
If a group of kids, or if a kid is talking to me, isn't that being effective?
That's one kid though.
The other boys that were not engaging still were not cursing them out. They were sitting there listening.
Yeah, I think that for what this is not the time at that type of a campus for the person who's speaking the opposing view to just be standing in the middle of a crowd. I just think that creates.
But they
too
weren't.
much.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it looked like they were just kind of out there standing.
They got surrounded. That was the difference.
But what I'm saying is they're just out on. It looked like they were just outside, as opposed to he's down. College campuses, depending on how it's set up, it could be a little stadium, a little auditorium type of thing where the main people are down on the panel and everybody is sitting in a seat. I'm saying it should have been more organized like that, in my opinion, to be effective. People should have been able to be invited to it, as opposed to I'm coming out of class.
I think that's stupid, right? You should have a decorum. You should have some decorum. You should know how to act. You don't need to agree with nobody. You don't agree with him, walk away. That's the thing, where it's a public space. If you don't agree, walk away. People should know how to act. I'm sorry. No.
I'm coming out of lunch. I see some white dude with a MAGA hat on, probably don't know any reason why they're on there, and now they're going over there following the crowd. I'm just saying, I don't think that the setup was the best to get an effective outcome. And I'm not saying that's right. Like, it sucks that is what it is. It's embarrassing. It totally is embarrassing. But again, it's like, it's kind of like if I decide I want to help kids in the hood, like, I have to go in knowing it's not going to be the same as me helping kids over here. Like, it just is what it is.
I still blame security. They should have had both.
They did a bad job too.
But it's a college campus. You should be able to debate your thoughts and your opinions and your ideologies and your philosophies. That's the place where you do it at. Nobody should have to handle you with kid gloves.
And Black Lives Matter here in DC, they do it on college campuses.
I agree,
all the
y'all,
time.
but
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a college. That's the place where you
reality.
set up those type of situations. That's the place where you have that type of discourse.
Black Lives Matter roll up there and
you're
just be like, I'm saying what I want.
And then black women and their daughters want to throw on a cape and always be a bully and go out and make an issue that really don't have. If you're not participating in the debate, what you there for?
I agree with y'all. It shouldn't be like that. Like,
exactly, Eddie. This is the thing where I said in the title, right? It's always the left. It's always these types of people that, you know what? You cannot handle conversation. You cannot handle debating your ideology. You can't handle it. I've said this before. I'm down with if you anyone have a different opinion. I'm down. I'm down. You know what I was gonna do? I'm going to eventually do it, right? Where I want to do a live where I'm setting up a TikTok and anyone, because I think I'll more likely get haters and debaters or detractors on TikTok than I would get on YouTube. So I'm thinking about doing that eventually.
Somebody should be able to walk up to a young man and tell him, pull up your pants. You don't look, whatever. They should be able to. We should be able to interact with each other like on that type of level, period. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. So what are you going to play into? What it should be or what it really is, which again, to me, goes back to your intention.
So that means colleges have changed to straight up indoctrination camps. You go here
it's the
to learn
environment.
this.
They haven't changed.
They've always been indoctrination camps.
They are indoctrination camps, but now you can't even question.
But yeah, you only get one
but it's a place.
indoctrination.
It's a place for critical thinking, and where you could challenge
all
the
the same
narrative or
indoctrination.
challenge the information.
No.
And now you can't.
It
You
is.
cannot
It's
have
all the
any
same.
type of
No
opposing
difference.
ideology now
No,
at
there's
a
a difference.
college. What's the point of college then? Just so you can get indoctrinated. You can't think for yourself. You have to think this way. You have to be this particular way. This is why these colleges are failing. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're all indoctrination camps. They've always been that. That's how they gonna always be.
Let's check this one out.
Going viral through many videos from many different angles all over the internet right now. And the story goes like this. A few MAGA supporters show up to Tennessee State University to have some civil debate. Now, the civil debate that they end up getting is hundreds of students crowding them, stealing their signs, and then chasing them off of campus while giving them middle fingers and screaming at them. And I watched these videos and I thought, wait a second, I know one of these MAGA supporters. And if you're a fan of this channel and you watch for quite some time, you may know him too. And guess what? He's on the show today, so let's talk about it. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. It popped up on my TikTok For You page, and it didn't pop up from a right-winger talking about the students' behavior. It popped up because one of the students posted that MAGA supporters, quote, invaded our HBCU. And this is how they responded.
MAGA supporters invaded our HBCU.
What is going on over here?
Now, do you see that that lock-in on that face there? Do you guys recognize that face? That is Cam Higby, okay? I used to work with Cam, and now he's making these videos, and he has been for quite some time, going to university campuses and civilly debating students. Now, it didn't turn out so well at TSU, so let's keep watching.
You call the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your...
We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. All right, bet. Source?
You know what? This is the thing where this is why they can't debate. It's being emotional. If you created so many things, why is Africa still a third world, basically a third world continent?
You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
Oh, pedophilia accusations.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Tom.
yes. Say good job, TSU.
Good job. Shout out to my...
Okay, so isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, that's how you're gonna go about it, right? That's how. Yes, very emotional. This is how you go about it. So because you can't debate, you can't, battle with ideas, you're gonna be emotional by stealing, by bullying. That's how you go about it.
Now, it's so funny because these students posted this video thinking that they've done something wonderful here, thinking that they've done something correct, that they've kicked off these people who are just trying to have civil discourse. Now, they did mention that these...
What's up, the impregnator? I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. Just a man with an opinion. That's it. Just a man with an opinion.
These individuals, including Cam, were apparently not authorized to be on the campus. So we're going to, in fact, engage on that topic with Cam once he's on the show. But the comments on here are absolutely insane. Somebody says, why are they so obsessed with us? Others say they're mad because our HBCUs are outperforming theirs. Okay. Another one says they want civil war. They want violence from us. And then this one, even crazier, he wants to be Charlie Kirk 2.0. Now, many of these comments are sort of asking for violence against Cam and others who were with him. It's just absolutely ridiculous to watch. And I can go ahead through my experience with Cam and knowing.
No, I talk about whatever, right? I've talked about some bit of politics. I've talked about a bit of some geeky stuff, men and women dynamics, dating and stuff like that. So I talk about a lot of different things.
Him maybe make the inference that he doesn't want you guys to be violent. He doesn't want a civil war. I think he actually just wanted civil discussion. He didn't end up getting that. Now there's more footage of what's taken place here that, of course, as I said, has gone massively viral. Now I'm going to show you how these students engaged with them. Now, mind you, all they had was a table set up, a couple of signs of what they wanted to discuss, microphones for everybody there, and cameras. And here's how these HBCU students reacted.
Hey, you can't do that. Come on. Yo.
Oh, you better not, boy. You better not.
Okay.
Bring the sign back.
That was useless security guards. Useless security guards.
I just got to pause to say this is so disturbing. I mean, I don't know how to describe this without sounding extremely offensive. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing right now, but you guys can sort of figure out what I'm.
No, I wouldn't really. I definitely don't consider myself a leftist. I'm very much. I think that's. I definitely don't support the left. I definitely don't. I find them delusional, hypocrites, and insane people.
I'm thinking, this is insane. You guys are insane. And these people think that they're activists. They think they're conducting themselves in a professional manner. They think they're doing what's right. They think they're getting rid of what neo-Nazis and white nationalists, rather than the actual idea that they may be creating them with behavior like this.
You see this, the craziness of this, the highly emotional nature of this. It's showing that they cannot stand on their ideologies, right? I said this before, when you are emotional, when you are acting irrational and emotional, you have lost the debate. You have lost the argument.
All right, we're gonna do like a little end live pregame or postgame situation where we have 500 people watching.
We got 500 right here watching.
Look.
Middle finger is great.
This is insane. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
Well, I think the Fearless Tour definitely made an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Did somebody just throw something in our car?
They just tried to hit the car.
Just the imagery of like these black officers dealing with these black students at an HBCU who are completely conducting themselves in like the most horrific manner you could possibly conduct yourself in response to somebody trying to have civil discourse with you is just insane. And it says a lot. It's very, very
I definitely do, right? I think young liberals are absolutely mentally ill. This is the problem where I don't ignore the fact that there are a lot of far right people. But in my honest opinion, I think the far left outnumbers the far right. I really do. Okay. I honestly believe the people that are on the right, they're mostly center right to just right, not far right. While left, I think they're more far left. So absolutely unhinged. No, I mean, this is the thing where I do agree, right? We do need a new party. We do need, I mean, I think the center, right? There should be more, what is it? Candidates that come from out of the center, right? I definitely believe that we need more, politicians that are more centered focus.
Telling to how divisive politics has become in our country these days, and specifically on university campuses, which are just indoctrination centers at this point. This is how you act when you are brainwashed and indoctrinated. There is no person in their right mind who is treating somebody with a differing opinion like this. These people are insane. They're insane.
Oh my gosh.
I think Forrest is still out there trying to make sure the car's.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, officers.
Wow. Hey!
Yeah, they threw a drink up top.
Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. We got this all live. I'm posting this directly after so everyone can see exactly.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Turn up a lot.
All right, guys, we are out of here. We'll see you later from the Fearless Tour gang.
Are they gonna block me again now?
I think that might be what they're trying to do. They're intentionally
This is
blocking
like
us.
it's such degeneracy. I don't know. Like it's actually it's making me laugh because it's shocking.
They're hitting the car. I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey, they are still hitting the car.
How is this a universe?
But they're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
It's like the biggest conundrum of all time. They're still hitting the car. This is wild. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something, man. Like the
Zombie apocalypse looks more to me about like a group of let's say 100 to 150 future doctors and lawyers, right, guys?
Still hitting the car. Whoa! That was loud.
It's just so insane. This is the state of civil discourse in this nation. This is the state of our education system. And this specifically seems to be a testament to HBCUs because everybody wants to be all so bad, according to the TikTok comments under this one. This is insane, okay? And the story gets even crazier. It gets even crazier.
Do they have class? I don't know if they have class or not.
When we get into the response from the university themselves. Now, you would think Tennessee State University, after seeing this footage, would come out and profusely apologize. Now, they may say this group of people was not authorized to be on campus, and that's something to discuss. It's something to call out, and we'll do that with Cam, as I said before. But are we going to discuss the behavior of your students? Are we going to point out the fact that they conducted themselves in a completely unprofessional, just degenerate manner? Probably not. And here's the statement itself. Let's read it. TSU statement on unauthorized campus activity. So it's not a statement on the behavior of your students when asked for civil discourse. It's a statement on unauthorized campus activity. They say today a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advanced approval and permitting. So it says, in accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity, which is very interesting wording. I'm going to get to that hopefully with Cam, and maybe he'll have some knowledge there. Were they demonstrating, or were they doing any sort of protest activity, or were they there to have civil discourse? Maybe that'll clear things up. Now, they go on to say campus police and staff responded promptly, and individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. Without incident. I saw vandalism. I saw some verbal assault. It could have gotten physical at times with the way that they were taking their signs and touching their property. So they were apparently escorted off university grounds without incident. Do y'all know that the video footage exists? Do y'all know that your own students posted the video footage online all over on all these different platforms and that they're getting cheered on by other degenerates? Did they know that Cam and his entire group had footage of this? Anyways, they say at all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. If this is professional and respectful, I would love to see what unprofessional and disrespectful behavior looks like for these people. They go on to say the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. Not to your students, not to your faculty and staff, it seems. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. And just like that, the comments are turned off on this because, I don't know, everybody and their mother, brother, and sister can see how TSU students actually conducted themselves, the way that they treated not only the people who are visiting their campus to have civil discussion, but the police officers, the way they treated the car, the way they just completely crowded these individuals, screaming, throwing middle fingers at them, throwing water at them. It's absolutely insane. And if we can't see something like this and completely relate it to what took place with Charlie Kirk at UVU, then we don't have eyes, because this is the state of the university education system. And as I said before, they are indoctrination centers. Students are going into these university campuses, either being left-leaning, unaffiliated, being conservative even. Conservative students are being asked to hide their views, to pretend to have different views, essentially, to get by in these schools. Free speech, it seems, is non-existent, given this response, given what happened to Charlie Kirk, given the way the conservative students feel on campus. The education system itself is pushing leftist ideology, left and right, things like DEI and critical race theory, critical feminist theory, critical body theory, all of these different isms and phobias are being pushed onto these very young, malleable minds. But these young, malleable minds are also adults, and they're adults conducting themselves in the manner like what we just saw at Tennessee State University. It's completely unacceptable. And mind you, HBCUs, federal funding, they're receiving a lot of federal funding. Should you continue to receive federal funding like this? When this is how you behave, when this is how you treat people who come to your campus and try to have civil discourse? Is the federal funding going anywhere at these schools if this is...
I don't know. I think no school, no college should be receiving federal funding. I don't believe that at all. Why is your all-black school receiving federal funding? I think that's idiotic. I honestly do. I don't know.
How students are conducting...
And this is what your tax money is going to right here. This is what your tax money is going to. Indoctrination, right? Indoctrination of young black adults. This is what it's going to? Producing more venom, more toxicity, more racism? Yes, that's where I want my tax money to go to. Imagine our tax money going to uh, propping up white supremacists or KKK or racist, white racist colleges. That's what I want my money to go to. Yes, absolute insane use of tax money.
Themselves, but somebody on TikTok says everybody wants to be at the HBCU. Everybody's obsessed with the HBCUs, right? They're mad, quote, because our HBCUs are outperforming theirs. Okay. Mind you, there are sources reporting that this particular HBCU, Tennessee State University, has a graduation rate of about 22%. So yeah, I don't think these individuals are upset that you're outperforming them. I think we actually need to bring the performance up and start performing like actual human beings and not like a National Geographic documentary. Let's be honest. These individuals are...
So this is what our tax money is going to. Our tax money, American tax money, is going to a college that has only a 22% graduation rate. Our tax money is going to people that are only earning $34,000 a year. What the fuck are these people learning? Are these producing the future engineers of the world? Are these schools producing the future engineers, mathematicians, techs, finance? Are these producing the next generation of that? No, it doesn't look like it.
Upset that you're outperforming them. I think we actually need to bring the performance up and start performing like actual human beings and not like a National Geographic documentary. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. At the risk of sounding like one of those white nationalist neo-Nazis, that's how you guys are acting, okay? Now with that, now that we've established the whole situation, let's bring on Cam to talk about this further. Because as I said, I saw these videos and I said, well, damn, I know him. All right, so Cam, you're back on the show. This time you're not in the producer's bay. So welcome. Where are you right now?
Thanks. I'm in New York. I'm in a hotel, not in the producer's bay.
Are you unwinding a little bit, relaxing after your tumultuous time at TSU?
Yeah.
And that's what people should be doing. Study. With a school that has only a 22% graduation rate, I think you're better off studying than outside looking like fucking fools.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you have to run me through like what you were going through here, because you came up on my TikTok page. It was one of these students posting you, and of course they zoom in on your face, and all of a sudden I'm having this realization that okay, this is Cam. And I know you travel around to universities to have these discussions. In this moment, what are you feeling? Because you don't really get a lot of time to address the camera or to speak about what's happening. How did this all go down, and how'd you feel?
Yeah, they look like that. Yeah, they look like that. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. So we've been
exactly a 22% graduation rate. That is a waste of taxpayers' money. What are we funding that school to do? What are we funding that school to do? Waste money? It's not producing the next generation of well-educated people. No. Okay? It's not helping young black adults. A 22% graduation rate. And the median salary of the people who going out of that school is $35,000. You might as well be working for McDonald's, right? You might as well be working for McDonald's with a $20 an hour pay. You probably make the same amount. You don't need the college degree for that shit. Why isn't HBCU producing the next generation of engineers, of finance people, of mathematicians, of science, of all like the worthwhile degrees? Why isn't it doing that?
Going to college campuses across the United States, especially after Charlie died, to kind of keep the message alive and show people that we're not afraid to have conversations, both the right and the left. And we went to TSU, which was the first historically black college that we went to, and I think it probably won't be the last now. And we show up, and the campus is dead. There's nobody. I mean, we thought about packing up and leaving because when we first stepped foot on the campus, there was nobody. And one of my business partners actually looked at me and said, we might as well just tell the security to go home. Like, there's no reason that nothing's going to happen here. And so we go and we set up the table, we set up the microphones, we set up the signs. And one person comes up, or I guess it was a group of two, come up and they start having a conversation with us. And we're just talking about DEI and racism in the United States and stuff like that. And it was honestly one of the most civil conversations that I've had on the whole tour. I mean, I was laid back. I think I'm probably mostly because I was tired. And all of a sudden this angry mob starts to form. and then the police come, the campus police, and
Exactly. About half is raised by single mothers. The other half is raised by inept, useless fathers. No.
they kind of tell us like, you're supposed to get a permit, and we're like, yeah, but it's a public university. This is, the First Amendment, and they're like, yeah, you're right. And then they kind of just like hung around and protected us, and the mob grew and grew and grew to the point where it was like 500 people, and they just started pushing closer and closer until we were completely surrounded. And we decided, well, we're not going to get anything productive done today, so we might as well leave. And the police flanked us on the way out, and I mean, they were stealing our signs. And you see in the videos, they have these BLM signs. Those are our signs. They ripped them up, stole our Sharpies, and wrote on them. And then they follow us to the car. We get in the car. They're yelling at my security guard, by the way, who was black, and they're basically calling him a race traitor and stuff. And we get in the car, and they surround the car. They get in their cars. They block us onto the campus, and they're throwing stuff at the car, banging on the windows. It's crazy.
Yeah, was there any sort of like tipping point? Because as you said, you started with some pretty civil discussions and then these people just sort of congregate. Was there any moment where you knew like, oh, this is going to go down? I know in the video footage you see a sign gets stolen and you walk up to sort of get it back and a guy gets in your face and is like, don't do that. And immediately you're like, okay, this is going to go somewhere different. What happened there?
Yeah, the tipping point was where the first sign was stolen. Once somebody does it, then everyone's going to do it, and they started stealing other stuff. And then the mob realized they can do whatever they want, and there's more of them than there are the police. And at first, we didn't think it was going to go this way because at every campus we go to, a large crowd forms of anywhere from like 30 to 100 people. This is not out of the ordinary for us, but usually it's very civil. We have a speaker, like a giant JBL, and both the guest and us speak on it. And that usually keeps the audience pretty quiet because they're just listening to the conversation. But in this case, they went ballistic, and very quickly after the first sign was stolen, it totally devolved. There was one guy who had a screwdriver and he was holding it backhanded like a weapon as he was talking to my debate partner, David. And we didn't even realize he had a screwdriver because there's so much going on around us. So this guy's right next to us with a weapon, and we don't even realize it's in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, and things can change so quickly. I can imagine.
You're a student. Why are you walking around with a screwdriver? As a student, what purpose do you have walking around campus with a screwdriver? What? Just in case? Just in case for what? Just in case you want to shank somebody? You want to shank someone? Is that the mentality? Is that what we are promoting in the black community? Walk around with a screwdriver so just in case you need to shank anyone. Yeah. That's the mentality that you want to promote. Instead of, having a civil conversation with somebody. No, let's have a screwdriver just in case I need to shank somebody. Yeah, that's what we're promoting. This is what we promote in the black community. Makes sense.
How like that it's got to induce fear of some sort. Were you scared? Were you guys kind of kept it cool and you kind of kept filming, you kept yourself collected pretty well? What were you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, me, like I very low pressure situations for me are very high pressure. I kind of freak out when it's like a room and it's calm.
And that's the sad part, right? This is why good fathers are so important. Good fathers, we teach our children to regulate emotions, to control your emotions.
But for me, when the adrenaline's rushing and I'm in the middle of what is essentially a riot, that's when I'm like pretty much at my prime.
Right. The zone kicks in. Yeah, for sure. And I'm insane. What's insane about this, because you just described that as a riot, which anybody who's watching this video could basically see that that's what's taking place. I mean, they're hitting your car, they're throwing middle fingers at you, they're trying to block your car as you're trying to leave. And of course, we've gotten to the university response. We've already read that for the audience here. The university claims that they conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. That's the quote there. And they've actually called you guys out and said that you guys were on the campus unauthorized and that it's actually essentially your fault. They've blamed you for what's taken place.
Yeah.
And they said, well, nothing has taken place. What's your take on that? What's the whole background with the permitting and being allowed to be on the campus?
Yeah, they actually sent an email to the alumni, and their alumni leaked it to me, where they called us hostile, even though we just sat down and we're actually having a very nice conversation with one of the young men who walked up and talked to us. And I mean, my take is just like, it's on video. We live streamed the whole thing. We recorded the whole thing. There were at least 8 separate cameras recording the whole thing. And then you can see from my camera angles, the whole mob is also recording. It's like, this is not something you're going to be able to contain. So why lie about it? Why not just say, we condemn the actions of our students? And this wouldn't be such a big story, because really what made us very upset about this and push it 10 times harder was because the school blamed us and said that their students acted respectfully and professionally. What is professional and respectful about what they did? But basically pushing us off a public campus. We didn't have a permit. We try to call the universities, all of them, before we show up and let them know that we're coming. And they're usually very accommodating. They're public campuses. We don't really go to private campuses unless we can get in touch with some CRs that can hook us up with an invitation. But we call the public campuses, and they usually are very accommodating. The administration just comes out and says, "Okay, well, I hope you guys are doing well." And yep, this is it. Like Clemson did that, UNC Charlotte, all of them. And but this administration, we called them, and they sent us straight to voicemail before we came. And then the police came and gave us the numbers to the administration as well. And again, we called 3 times and straight to voicemail. So there wasn't a way to get permission to come to this campus either way. And but it's a public campus, so we just, this is our First Amendment right, so we showed up and we did that. And even if there was a justification to kick us off campus for not having a permit, that's the duty of the administration, not the student body, to remove us in a violent manner. If a police officer would have come down and given us a lawful order to leave, we would have done so immediately.
Right. It seems like you
But they
guys
didn't.
were very willing, even when the situation was getting tense. You're like, okay, we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we're gonna do it. Just somebody allow us to do it smoothly and safely. And the students, interestingly enough, you say in the video, or somebody says in the video, you want us gone, but you're also trying to keep us here. So in that sort of high pressure situation, what do you meant to think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, it's this university is in a rough neighborhood, so like that's also a factor. Is like, you don't know who's around or who's going to do what, or we've already seen them with screwdrivers. They've damaged the vehicle. What's next? Why are they driving in front of us so slow, or at times even completely stopped? And it was obviously like they were holding us up for some reason. And
Right.
it is a contradiction. Why are you yelling at us to leave and doing this with your hand, like pointing to the exit to the campus, but you're not letting us leave?
Yeah, you guys are better than me. I would have hightailed it out there when I saw that crowd forming. I thought this is not the situation for me. And I'm wondering, now that we have the university responding publicly, they of course know who you are. All this footage is out there. You're named in it, as well as the other men who are in this whole situation with you. Are there going to be any repercussions based off what's happened? Has anybody spoken to you at all about this?
Yeah, we're definitely pursuing some avenues. I'll say that there will likely be repercussions for the university, more so than just the social repercussions they've already felt with their statement that has 16 million views and barely any likes. Another funny thing too is like a lot of people are on me. Why would you choose to go to an HBCU? Why would you choose to go to an HBCU? And we keep saying like, first of all, we didn't even know it was an HBCU until like the night before. The reason we chose that university is because it's one of the few public universities in Nashville. You have Vanderbilt and Belmont, which are both private, and then TSU is public. And so that's why we chose it, not because it's an HBCU. But even if we did choose it because it was an HBCU, who cares? Do you want us to exclude Black people from the conversation? I think this actually only galvanizes me to want to go to more HBCUs, because I think Black people should be included in the conversation.
I love that. I love that. Why? Why isn't Black people included in the conversation? This is the problem I find so much, right? After Charlie Kirk died, we see so many Black people going online on social media. He's a racist. Are you kidding me? When he was alive, you had the chance to debate him face to fucking face. You didn't have the guts. You didn't have the balls to debate this so-called racist face to face, right? You didn't have the balls. None of these people had the guts, right? Had the balls to debate this man face to fucking face. Any one of these people who called him a racist, who called him all this shit that they called him once he died, you could have, if you had the fucking guts, you could have gone to these campuses, public campuses, and debated the man. No, you are fucking weak. You had no balls. You had no guts. You wait until the man is dead to say your piece, because no one's going to hold you to it, right? Because people will say you could just go on to debate him, but now he's dead now. So of course you can't debate him. Of course you can't say shit. Right? So that's what I do agree. Great. Do more. I hope they have security, right? I hope they have security, but do more of it. Include people in this conversation. Include Black people in the conversation. Include them. Debate them on their ideologies. Because you hear this, this is the thing, right? If I was anybody, if I was someone special, if I had a following, if I had much of a following, I would do it. I would go to these campuses and debate Black people. I would. You think America's so racist? Let's debate. Let's debate. Let's have a civil discourse. Let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation. If you believe it so much, come on. I've said this down before too. If you want to debate me, write in the comment section. I'll do a live stream with you. I'll do a live stream. Because this is the fucking problem we have. So many people are so weak with their ideology. They're so weak with their ideology. They're so weak with their beliefs. If you're so strong with your belief, you believe white people are the problem, you believe America's racist, fucking I'm down. Come on. Let's have a conversation. But so many people have no guts, no balls to defend their point of view. So no, go to HBCUs. Do it. I hope they do. I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it. Because these people, I'm sorry, a lot of people in the black community have no guts to debate their ideology. They have nothing to back it up.
And I'm not going to be intimidated away from public spaces.
Yeah, and it's interesting that in the wake of what's happened to Charlie Kirk and his assassination, a lot of people have been accusing him of being a racist, of being anti-black. And in the same way that you've just made that statement, you can find similar statements.
And yet they never had the fucking guts to go up to him and debate him. Defend your views. Defend your views. This is a thing where, again, defend your views. No one's, I'll say this, right? If we can't find common ground, at least we agree or disagree. If you can't defend your view, you've already lost. You've already lost if you can't defend your views.
Statements being made by Charlie. And I think it's really interesting imagery to now see white men go to a campus to have civil debate with black students, and then black students sort of corralling them out of the campus. And you look at that imagery and you think, okay, well, we've apparently we're in an age of progress, but we've regressed back to this new form of like anti-white racism. And the imagery is right there in the video. And the fact the university is not acknowledging that is just insane.
Hey, they're calling me 2025 Ruby Bridges. So
okay. It's amazing. That's amazing.
Civil rights leader of our time right here.
Like, what do you think needs to happen moving forward so that you can do something like this at a campus like TSU and have it be successful?
I don't know. I mean, I want these people to know that we're really there in good faith to just have a conversation. Like, a lot of people are just saying we came there to incite or intimidate, but I think the footage is very clear, and that's why we posted this video that actually starts with the conversation we were having with the first guy. So civil on both sides, and then then it's kind of a time lapse. You see the mob form, and then out of nowhere they start stealing our signs, and like it just evolves very quickly, and it shows the whole thing, how it started and how it ended. And like I just want these people to know that we're like genuinely there for a conversation. We don't want to incite. We don't hate you. We disagree on DEI. And one of the big things I was talking to the first person about was DEI is not good for black people. I mean, or women, right? I know lots of people who are in a role because they were hired for what they look like, and they have imposter syndrome because they don't feel like they belong in the role that they're in because they know they weren't hired for their qualifications, but for their characteristics, and that's racist. And I think it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act and the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, and we should work towards.
And DEI is useless. DEI is useless. It only benefits white women, right? I mean, white women predominantly benefit from DEI, so it's useless. Get rid of it.
As they say, a society of anti-racism, and I think banning DEI, which is what our sign called for, is working towards that objective. And they say, well, why, DEI is already banned. Why are you? DEI is not banned. Like affirmative action is banned, and a lot of DEI practices have been clamped down on. But even if it was banned, it doesn't change the fact that people still support it. And so we're keeping the conversation alive so we can have lasting change and not just, it's banned, but when a Democrat gets back in office, it comes back.
Right, 100%. And like the fact that you can't, interestingly enough, like what you said is technically anti-racist, and what they did and how they responded is actually what racism looks like. And you are going to run into this on many a college campus, I think, and you already have in doing this. And it does speak to the state of higher education and just the university systems at large, and how these are largely becoming like indoctrination camps for young people who are, young adults who are conducting themselves in this way. And I've seen a lot of people in response to your video saying like the Trump administration needs to pull funding from these HBCUs. Like clearly these are not successful engagements, establishments. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, to be honest, 22% graduation rate from that particular school. I'm sorry. Funding was useless. If your school is only producing a 22% graduation rate, you don't deserve the funding.
Thoughts on that after your experience?
Yeah, so I think the graduation rate of Tennessee State University is 32%. So irregardless of the race riot, because they were shouting anti-white stuff at us, I would say any institution that can't keep its graduation rate over 50% shouldn't receive a single federal tax dollars, HBCU or not. I don't care if it's an all-white school, right? You shouldn't be getting any tax money if you can't keep your graduation rate over 50%, because you're basically just funneling money to a bunch of students who are never going to graduate the university. And it's a waste. And that university needs to do better. It's an administrative problem and a misallocation of the resources they currently have. And evidently the people running their social medias aren't very bright, given the statement that they made related to our situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's abundantly clear whatever's happening at that university is not good, and it shines in the behavior and the actions of the students here. You said you're going to other universities moving forward. What changes after this moment? I saw the little fund our security fund at the bottom, because I imagine security is being upped in the wake of everything that's happening in the news, let alone your experience here.
Yeah, I mean, not much has changed. We're just going to keep doing exactly what we've been doing. We'll probably
They should get Turning Point's cooperation.
Probably, as we raise more money with the Give Send Go that we have on our socials, we'll have a bigger budget for hiring more security. We had one guard at TSU, so in the future it might be a good idea to have more. But if things get rowdy, the universities usually send the police, so that's a little safety there. But like at TSU, if there's a mob like that, they outnumber the police, so it becomes still difficult. So yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is just continue exactly how we have been. We're not deterred. I had a detour for some meetings. That's why we haven't hit the universities in the past couple of days, but we're not stopping because of that.
I love to hear that. And you're continuing to want to have civil discussion. I guess it's like a final question here. A lot of these TSU students, I bet, are going to be keeping you on their radar. I imagine they're hopping on your socials. I imagine
Barricades? I don't know. I don't know if that helps. That probably wouldn't. What do you guys think? This is the problem with our current landscape. We cannot talk with each other. That is absolutely ridiculous. We should be able to have a civil discourse, respectful civil discourse. It is insane if we can't.